Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to Aussie Desi. Now it's been a good month or so that I've been making videos and publishing them and all that, but it's only now that I've figured out what sort of a name to give to the channel. So Aussie Desi it's gonna be. Now I am a Desi Indian guy who's now living in Australia. So in this channel I'll be sharing about all my experiences, my struggles, what worked for me, what didn't quite work for me, and all that. So sit tight and come along on this journey. Right, now topic for the day. We had last talked about the road law knowledge test, but again, I realized that there were a few more details that I need to include about the road law knowledge test before we move into the next segment. So that's what this video is going to be about. Right, so let's get right into it. Okay, starting things off for the day. I had mentioned something called the customer number in my last video, but I don't think I really explained it well enough, or maybe I just might have probably confused you guys. So what exactly is the customer number? Now, in the first step, when you would have visited the customer service center to get your overseas license verified, you would have filled up the license application form. Now, in the top right corner of this form, there was a particular column that said license number, and the agent who had actually attended to your case would have filled up this number. Yeah, so this is what I'm talking about. Is that visible? I hope so. Come on, focus. So this is the section with which says the VIC license number, and the agent would have filled up the section for you. Now this is actually the same thing. So it could either be called the customer number, and also the same number doubles up as your Victorian license number once you have completed the entire process. So it is this number that you'll have to provide to the customer service agent now that you want to book your road law knowledge test, right? So I hope I have sort of clarified that little detail which I sort of messed up in the last video. So yeah, that's what the customer number refers to. Okay, now let's talk about the actual test. Now we did mention in the last video that there are going to be 32 questions, and the pass percentage is 78%. So you need to get either on or more, on or above 78% to make sure that you pass. What does that mean? So it means that you need to get at least 25 questions correct at the minimum. That also means that you can afford to get 7 questions wrong. But if you have actually gone through the whole road to solo driving booklet, you won't have any problem getting at least 30 of these questions correct. So it's not a test that you can just show up on the day and just get through. It does need good amount of preparation, but if you do spend the time required, it should not be it's nothing difficult. Okay, third thing. Now this was one thought that did cross my mind while I was preparing for the test. So it's like, can you actually prepare for the test by just doing these practice questions repeatedly? My suggestion on this would be, do not do this, because there's no guarantee that the questions that you get on for the practice tests on the Vic Roads website will be the exact ones that you get for the test. There may be some that you do, if you are lucky. There may be some of those questions that tend to repeat for your test. It might also be the case that none of those questions show up. So I would not advise you to go this route. It's not a great way of preparing or making yourself aware of the road laws. The best thing to do would definitely be to sit down and relax and read through the whole big PDF document, the road law knowledge test. It'll definitely help you going forward in your hazard perception test as well as in your real drive test, and when you are out on your own driving vehicle on the Australian roads. So treat your preparation and practice separately. Don't look for shortcuts precisely. Yeah. I know that even when I say don't look for shortcuts, there will still be, because man is essentially quite lazy by nature, so we always keep looking for shortcuts. Uh, can you actually do questions for the practice session tend to show up for the test? Yes, they might well show up for your test. Uh, but the problem is sometimes these questions might look similar to the ones that you had done for your practice test, but it might be slightly different. The difference could be so minor that you really do not notice it, and you feel that this was one that you had done for the practice, and you immediately know the answer and go and click that. But there might be some little change to the questions, which in the heat of the moment, in case you are stressed out on the day of the test, you do not need not notice that there is that slight difference in this question to what you got in the practice. So no, don't go that route. Practice, spend some time, uh, read the road laws. Make sure you know them well, and then take the test. Yeah. Also, being a holder of an overseas driving license, you will not be issued with a learner's license card, or nor will your photograph be taken. So at the end of the test, it will be just that printout that you will have as proof that you have, cleared the test. So you can continue driving on your overseas license, and you will have, all the rights as a full overseas license holder. So you will not have a photograph taken. You do not need to be, well groomed to take the learner's test. Yeah. Okay, the final thing that I want to talk about today is not really a suggestion or an advice or anything so to say. It's just my my personal little experience on the day of the test. So it's quite quite amusing what I had gone through. So on the day of the test, I showed up on time. I got to the center a good 5 minutes ahead of my appointment, and make sure that I was, well rested on the previous night. I just had a good meal, and I was well hydrated and all that. So I took care of all that. And I went and met the agent, the customer service agent, and he sort of, went through my paperwork, and he just told me, that way, go take a seat. So I saw that there were a lot of computer consoles in that corner, and people were taking these tests. So that is what I sort of picked up from his accent, which I'm still learning the Aussie accent. So that's what I sort of picked up. He told me go take a seat. So I walked across, and I sort of sat down in front of the first computer there. Now the computer, it just had a screen and a mouse and one headphone that was hung up on the side of the cubicle. So it didn't have a keyboard. So I thought maybe it'll just automatically log me in because I've already given all my details to the agent. When I sat down there, the screen that showed up was enter customer number, and I was like, okay, how do I enter it, because there's no keyboard here. So I sat down there a little confused for a minute. When I look around, I'm not sure whether I should be looking around because it's a test environment. I could see that the others there were already taking their test, so I don't know what to do. So after sitting there looking like a fool for about a minute, I got up and went back to the agent and told me I don't have a keyboard, so I can't enter my customer number. and he was like, I told you to go take seat number 4. And yeah, I made myself look a complete idiot. So maybe I don't know if he did tell that to me the first time, because I it just totally I missed that part. If he did tell me to go to seat number 4, I don't know. It probably might have been that I didn't pick up the accent, or I don't know. I messed up. Yeah. So when I went further down that alley and got to computer number 4, yeah, right there I could see that, welcome, my name, and, click to begin and all that. So yeah, from then on it went all right. So I just, tried to forget what happened before that, and took my test, and it went all right. And yeah, and I did get a certificate at the end of it, which sort of just mentions your the overall result, where you took the test, what is your pass percentage, the date and time that you took the test, and all that. So you will get a certificate at the end of your test, whether you have been successful or unsuccessful. I don't think anything comes up on the screen, is what I remember. It's just, you just end the test and you need to go back to the customer service agent, who will be giving your result in a short while. So yeah, that's about it. So I hope you have you will be able to go through your tests and make sure you are successful. Just relax and make sure you prepare well, and you should be good. All right, so that's all that I have for you this time around. In case you have any more questions on the road law knowledge test, maybe try dropping in a comment, and if it's something that I am aware of, I'll be more than happy to help you with the answer to that. So, yeah, so good luck for your test. It's going to be a cakewalk, so just trust yourself, right? So until I see you for the next one, see ya. Thanks for watching. Bye.